Thank you for joining us this morning for setting up your vaccination certificate on your smartphone. I'm Michelle McLean. I'm the Information Services Coordinator for Casey Cardinia Libraries. So to get your vaccination certificate onto your phones for check-ins, you're going to need a My Gov account. You're going to have, of course, a smartphone, either an Apple or an Android, and you need the Service Victoria app, and you may also need the Express Medicare Plus app. It depends on how old your phone is, and it also depends on a few other things. I had an Android phone that I couldn't do it straight from the Service Victoria app, but I had an iPhone, which I did later, where I could do it straight from the Service Victoria app. So it may be worth just trying a few different things first through the Service Victoria app, give it a few tries, and if it doesn't work, then go through the Medicare Express app. Now, the MyGov Immunisation Register is a list of all vaccinations you've had in Australia. So if you've been in Australia all your life, it's going to have all of your vaccinations. I came as a young child to Australia. I was born in England, so it's going to have all the vaccinations that I had since I've been here over the very many years. So your immunisation register is not just about your COVID vaccination. It's about everything that you've had. If you cannot get the certificate working, you can actually use your immunisation history statement as proof of your vaccination as well. You don't necessarily have to have the COVID certificate on your device. The immunisation history statement will also work. The way you access your immunisation history statement is through MyGov, so you have to have a MyGov account, and you also have to have it linked to Medicare. So anybody who's been born in Australia or is a permanent resident has access to both MyGov and Medicare. But if you know somebody who doesn't have Medicare and they're not eligible, they can contact the Immunisation Register direct, and because anybody who's in Australia can get the vaccination. So if they contact the Immunisation Register direct, they can get their vaccination statement sent out to them direct. The same applies for anybody who doesn't have a Medicare account or a MyGov account. They can contact the Immunisation Register and have it mailed out to them. This is just a quick video to show you how you can add your vaccination certificate from COVID-19 to your Service Victoria app. To begin with, you will need the Service Victoria app, the most recent edition of the app, so please check your device to ensure that you have the most recent update. If you don't have the Service Victoria app, you can download it from Google Play or the App Store. You will also need a MyGov account and your MyGov login details. If you don't have a MyGov account, you can register for a MyGov account if you are an Australian citizen or a permanent resident, and you will need this to be able to access your vaccination certificate online. You may also need the Medicare Express app if our original way of showing you how to connect your certificate to Service Victoria doesn't work. If you do not have a MyGov account or a Medicare card, please talk to library staff who will be able to talk you through how else you may be able to access your COVID vaccination certificate. Once you have the Service Victoria app, you can open it just by tapping on it. And the quickest way to add your digital certificate is just through this link down the bottom here. If you just tap and add certificate, and then add certificate via MyGov. You now need to sign in with your MyGov account with your username and password. As part of the security on MyGov, you'll be sent a code to your mobile phone. You will need to enter this code number to get access. And once you are logged in, if you scroll up to where it says proof of COVID vaccination and go to Medicare, you need to have your Medicare account attached to your MyGov account. If you don't, you can do that quite straightforwardly through MyGov. Then go to View History. Then you can either view your COVID certificate or you can share it with the check-in app. So if you do not want to share it with the Victoria Services app, you can actually just save it as a PDF onto your device. But in this instance, tap Share with Check-in app, and you're going to share with Services Victoria. Read the conditions, and when you are happy, tap Accept and Share. And it has retrieved my certificate, as you can see there, and I just tap Add Certificate, and that has now added the certificate to my Service Victoria app. When I go to check in somewhere and scan the code, it will come up with the certificate automatically. But if you have an older device, an old Android phone or iPhone, the best way might be to use the Medicare Express app. So you'll need to have the Medicare Express app installed. Once you do, open it, sign in. Once you've authenticated yourself on the Medicare Express app, all you need is your PIN. Enter your PIN, and once you are connected, go to Proof of Vaccinations, and then the same again, View History. Select the person and share with the check-in app. If neither of these processes work for you, or you do not have a mobile phone on which to connect your vaccination certificate, you can print out your vaccination certificate from My Gov, or you can also contact the Immunisation Register directly. For any more help, please contact your library and we will do what we can to help you get prepared for your vaccination certificate sharing. Thank you. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to log into my MyGov account so we can see where it's actually contained on the MyGov website. Let me just log into my account then. Okay, now I've got to wait for my phone to get my code. So when you sign up to MyGov, you need both an email address and a smartphone or a mobile phone, because the two-factor authentication is that they send you a code to confirm that you're the person logging into that account. And immediately it knows, but we're not going to do the proof of COVID vaccination at this point yet. I'm going to go to Medicare. Okay, so now I'm in my Medicare details and I can see right here I've got my proof of vaccinations, and I can view my immunisation statement just through View History. So here's my immunisation history statement, where they would be. That is an option for anybody who doesn't have a smartphone. They can just go to MyGov and through Medicare to their immunisation history statement and just print that out. And as you can see, my COVID-19 vaccinations are there. So I can just print that out and use that as the required proof. So just for MyGov, I could just go to get my proof of vaccination just by using this link here. And again, it takes me to the same place ultimately. So I could get my statement from there. But if I want to do everything on my phone, I have the Service Victoria app here installed on this phone. To open it, just as the same as you would in when you're doing normal scanning. I've just installed it this morning. So I need to add my certificate via MyGov. I can do that. Again, I have to log into my MyGov account to access that. You only have to do this once. Once you've done it, unless you need to delete the app for whatever reason and then reinstall it, then it stays. I'll get my code. So this code business is called two-factor authentication, if you ever hear that terminology used anywhere else. And that's just to ensure that the person who's actually trying to log in has everything that they should have. So they haven't just pinched somebody's login details, they've actually got the phone that's registered on the account, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So proof of COVID vaccination, go to Medicare. And I can view the history and then my name, and I'm going to share with the check-in app. And I'm going to share it with Service Victoria. I have read the conditions previously, so I'm going to do the fast version and accept and share and add certificate. So don't forget that you've got to actually add the certificate. Just because you can see it there doesn't mean it's been added yet. And then I've got to add my details. This is the first time I've got this app open, but it won't be the case for you, lovely ladies. And there's my certificate added to Service Victoria. So next time I go to check in, when I check in, as soon as I've scanned the QR code, it'll pop up to say where you've checked in, and it'll come up with a COVID vaccination certificate. But if you tap on the little button next to check in, it actually shows your certificate there as well. and just for your certificate to actually see it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty straightforward, but as I said, it doesn't always work on all devices. It's worked really well on this phone. This is an iPhone 11, but on my Samsung, which is my second phone, it didn't work originally. So I had to use the Medicare Express app. Now with the Medicare Express app, you need to, if you don't already have the Medicare Express app installed already, you'll need to get some a range of details to actually get it installed. But once you do have it installed and it knows who you are, all the details, all you need is your PIN, which you set at the time that you're installing it. And then you just enter the PIN each time you log into it. And then it has something similar. You just press COVID certificate at, log into My Gov because it's attached to My Gov, and then same process, add certificate, and then it'll share it with Service Victoria app. The other thing you can do if you don't want to use the Service Victoria app is you can also download the certificate to your phone and put it into either your Google Wallet or your Apple Wallet. And on my Samsung, my daughter and I are heading off to Canberra, hopefully at the end of November. And Canberra's got its own app for checking in, but they don't have the certificate integration that Service Victoria and Service New South Wales have, at least not yet. And so I was able to save the certificate into my Google Wallet, and I've actually got it as a link on my Samsung home screen. So I can just tap that icon. Hang on, I'll see if I can show it to you just through the camera here. Over. So, where is it? There. Next to the Service Victoria app, you can see a green circle with a tick. It's just where I've attached it to my Google Wallet on my phone, and it's said, yep, no problems. Do you want to put it on your home screen? And I did. And then when I tap that, it actually asked me to verify who I am. No, it's not coming up. Through my lock screen. So my lock screen has two options. I can either enter a password or use my fingerprint, and I scan my fingerprint, and now up comes the certificate. So it's actually saved directly to my phone through one tap and an entry of a password. So if you end up traveling in the next little while and need to show that, and wherever you're going, the app doesn't have that connection, then you can actually just save your certificate to your phone itself and have that ready to show. The other thing I would advise is if you do end up going into Mygov, to actually take a printed copy of your certificate, because unfortunately we don't always remember to charge our phones. And you don't want to end up going somewhere and realizing your phone's dead and now you can't do anything because you can't show your digital certificate. So having a backup print copy is also, at least, you know, checking your phone before you're leaving your home. At least if you've got a printed copy and you've realized your phone's dead, and you can then take your printed copy with you. The other thing I was going to give you was the phone number for the Immunisation Register. So if you have any problems with any of this, you can call the Australian Immunisation Register, and that is their direct phone number, 1800 653 809.